One of my students, Gausuddin, had given two CSC interviews earlier, but then he was not able to clear the prelims examination three times back to back. Then, in the 2023 attempt, he did something else. He did micro-thematic analysis of the past year papers and other papers conducted by UPSC, be it CDS, NDA, Geoscientist exam, and so on. From this micro-thematic analysis, he was able to attempt 7 to 8 extra questions in the prelims examination 2023, and again this time he has given civil services interview, the result of which is awaited. Well, hello dear students, I am Zeeshan Hashmi, and today we are going to understand how PYQ based micro thematic analysis helps us solve those additional 7 to 8 questions in the prelims examination, which either we are likely to skip or we are likely to mark them wrong. Also, we'll understand how we can boost our score by 15 to 20 marks by uh, attempting these extra questions, and at the end, how do we make micro notes out of it, and how do we revise it multiple times so that these micro themes are consolidated at the back of our mind and are usable in the examination hall. Let's take a few examples of what micro themes were important for prelims 2023, and at the end we'll try to understand what micro themes are important for prelims 2024. Also, let's take example of few questions asked by UPSC in 2023 civil service examination and other exams. Say for example, the first micro theme we are discussing is warrior ethics in Sangam poems. Warrior ethics in Sangam poems. Now in CSC Prelims 2022, UPSC had asked this question on Sangam literature, and among the given four options, option C said that Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethics. मतलब warrior ethics का कोई reference है ही नहीं Sangam poems में. This was what the option contained. This was the wrong option. Nonetheless, it was contained as one of the options by UPSC. Now, guys, what is interesting is the same micro theme, which is warrior ethics in Sangam poems, was repeated in the very next year in CSC Prelims 2023 exam. Now, a direct question was asked on warrior ethics, and the question was, which one of the following explains the practice of Vattakirutal as mentioned in the Sangam poems? And the correct answer was, a king defeated in a battle committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Guys, this is how micro-thematic analysis works. We started with this micro theme 1, warrior ethics in Sangam poems. In 2022, UPSC gives reference to warrior ethics, where it says Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethics. In the next year, it asks a direct question on Vattakirutal, where based on the prevailing warrior ethics in those times, in the contemporary Sangam times, a king defeated, if he gets defeated in the battle, he used to commit a ritual suicide by starving himself to death. So that's the connecting thread. That's the micro theme based on which UPSC had asked two questions back to back. Let's take one more example, but not from civil services prelims examination, but from other papers conducted by UPSC. And the other micro theme we are discussing is the unique traits of honeybees. Unique traits of honeybees. Now, guys, in Geoscientist exam 2023, UPSC had asked this question as to scientists have found which one of the following the only animal except for humans capable of telling the difference between odd and even numbers. And there were four options. The correct answer was honeybee. So here the trait being followed is unique traits of honeybees. But it doesn't stop here. In the same year, in the CSC Prelims 2023, UPSC asked which of the following organisms perform waggle dance for others of their kin to indicate the direction and distance to a source of their food. And again, the answer was honeybees. So two questions one asked in geoscientist exam 2023, one asked in the same year in civil services prelims examination. Both the questions pertain to, both of them relate to the unique traits as projected, as portrayed by honeybees. In the first instance, it's the identification of odd and even numbers done by honeybees. In the second instance, it is the unique dance, the waggle dance performed by honeybees. So that's the micro-thematic analysis which helped my, my student Gausuddin and many of my students in civil services 2023 exam. Let's take one more example. Micro theme number 3, major mining regions, but we are not keeping it very broad. Major mining regions with respect to aluminium, iron, copper and zinc. कहाँ पर ये बड़ी तादाद में पाए जाते हैं? It aluminium, iron, copper and zinc. And why are we doing this? In the NDA एग्जाम, पहले हमने जियो साइंटिस्ट वाला एग्जाम देखा, यूपीएससी एनडीए एग्जाम भी कंडक्ट करती है. एनडीए 2023 में यूपीएससी ने पूछा था which of the following pairs of mine and minerals is not correctly matched. मतलब आयन ओर कहाँ पाया जाता है, जिंक कहाँ पाया जाता है, कॉपर कहाँ पाया जाता है और बॉक्साइट कहाँ पाया जाता है बड़ी तादाद में. तो मेजर माइनिंग रीजन्स पर यहाँ पर एम्फोसिस है. दैट्स द माइक्रो थीम. एंड यूपीएससी डिडंट स्टॉप हियर. इन द सेम ईयर यूपीएससी आस्क्ड this question in civil services prelims examination as to ilmenite and rutile abundantly available in certain coastal tracts of India are rich sources of which one of the following. मतलब यूपीएससी खुद बोल रही है that it is abundantly available in certain coastal tracts is a rich source of what. Now the same micro theme, major mining regions of aluminium, iron, copper and zinc. Based on this theme, if we go back to our basic NCRTs and read about these minerals found and their ores found in specific geographical areas and regions, it's given there. Aluminium or bauxite. Bauxite is nothing but it's an ore of aluminium. Copper given in NCRT. Iron ore given in NCRT. Zinc, India is critically deficient in zinc. So once we are prepared with this micro theme, then understanding this question becomes more convenient based on our NCRT knowledge, that when we are speaking about coastal tracts, if something is abundantly found in coastal tracts, it cannot be aluminium, it cannot be copper, it cannot be iron, because we have read that in the NCRT. Based on this micro thematic analysis, what remains is titanium. Now guys, in this case, because we have read about aluminium, we have read about copper, we have read about iron, based on the micro thematic analysis we have done, the only option that remains is titanium, which can be marked based on our knowledge of other three options. So in this case, again, the micro theme was major mining regions, specifically about aluminium, iron, copper and zinc. Why? Because it was already asked in the NDA 2023 exam. We are expected, or we were expected, to be better prepared, and a direct question emanated in CSA Prelims 2023. Now let's take one more example, micro theme 4, and the micro theme over here is Janani Suraksha Yojana. Ab Janani Suraksha Yojana is an important scheme in itself, and it's a very broad and a vague theme to speak about, but we'll make it more specific. About when we speak of Janani Suraksha Yojana, we are pinpointing at governance and objectives. Governance and objectives of Janani Suraksha Yojana. And why are we doing this? Guys, in Geoscientist 2023 paper, UPSC had asked this question. Consider the following statements regarding Janani Suraksha Yojana. GSY is a safe motherhood intervention under the National Health Mission. Statement 2. The objective of GSY is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality. These were the statements given under Janani Suraksha Yojana, which pertain or which relate to its governance and objectives as described by the micro theme number 4. Now guys, in the same year, in UPSC Civil Services Prelims 2023, UPSC asked this question again on Janani Suraksha Yojana. Question was, Consider the following statements in relation to Janani Suraksha Yojana. It is a safe motherhood intervention of the state health departments. Its objective is to reduce maternal and neonatal mortality among poor pregnant women. It aims to promote institutional delivery among poor pregnant women. Its objective includes providing public health facilities sick infants up to 1 year of age. Guys, the micro theme, the anchor is same. What's the anchor here? गवर्नेंस एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ जननी सुरक्षा योजना. पहले जियो साइंटिस्ट 2023 के पेपर में यूपीएससी ने इस माइक्रो थीम पर क्वेश्चन पूछा. उसी साल सिविल सर्विसेज प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन में सेम थीम पर यूपीएससी ने क्वेश्चन पूछा है. तो गाइस, बेस्ड ऑन दिस माइक्रो थीमेटिक एनालिसिस दैट वी आर डूइंग across PYQs asked by UPSC in the civil services examination and across the other papers framed by UPSC in the same year in which the prelims examination is set to take place. There are more than 100 micro themes which are important for prelims 2024. अब ऐसा नहीं है कि सारे के सारे 100+ माइक्रो थीम्स यूपीएससी पूछ ही लेगी, लेकिन उनमें से कई सारे माइक्रो थीम्स यूपीएससी पूछेगी based on the micro-thematic analysis we have been doing for years. And in the beginning I gave you example of my student Gausuddin. उसने भी यही किया था based on my suggestions, और मेरे कई सारे दूसरे students ने इसी thematic analysis को follow किया था. And many of them, not just Gausuddin, many of them are giving interview precisely because prelims was stopping them from giving mains. Once they cleared prelims, they scored well, they performed well in mains. So guys, what are the other important micro themes for prelims 2024? I have listed 10 over here, but in the upcoming webinar I'll be discussing these micro themes in greater detail. The micro themes are survival instinct in fishing cat, otter, sloth bear, political geography of Israel, civil works during Vijayanagar Empire, uranium enrichment, civil versus offensive purpose, strategic ports in ancient India, not just any port, but strategic ports in ancient India, functional units of solar system. Now, solar system is a big unit in itself. We are speaking of the functional units of solar system. Core difference between India's ballistic and cruise missiles. Evolution of 42nd, 44th, and 86th Amendment. We are not talking about 42nd and other amendments in general. Now, these are big topics in itself. We are talking about evolution of these amendments. Then IUCN's flagship initiatives specific to India. इंडिया में वो लोग क्या काम कर रहे हैं और उनके कौन से फ्लैगशिप इनिशिएटिव्स इंडिया में चल रहे हैं. Then core tenets of Buddhism. Now this is relatively a broad theme, but this is again important from prelims 2024 point of view. So we have incorporated this under this list. So guys, join the webinar on 10th of April at 7 p.m. where we'll be discussing these micro themes, and I'll be giving you an exhaustive list of micro themes that are important from prelims 2024 point of view, which you can read by your own, which you can revise by your own, be shared in the webinar. So see you guys in the webinar.